On this edition of The Real Fight Club, we'll take a look at clips from the film The Real Bruce Lee and learn a little bit more about the international superstar. Then it's off to Hong Kong at the Heritage Museum for a rare look at a collection of Bruce Lee artifacts about his life, his legend, and legacy. My name is Coach D, and welcome to The Real Fight Club.
In order to create a more perfect picture of Bruce Lee, the legend, you will also see those who sought to imitate him, such as Bruce Lai and the latest sensation, Dragon Lee. Much time and care has been taken to compile this film in order to secure its authenticity. In the first 30 minutes, you will see Bruce Lee as a young man in 4 films that complete his film career. After that, there will be an hour and a half of continuous action. The real Bruce Lee is dedicated to you, the fans, and to his memory. May it live forever.
Bruce Lee was born November 27, 1940, in San Francisco's Chinese hospital. He was brought up in Hong Kong during the Japanese occupation. Bruce Lee began his film career at the ripe old age of 6. His father, Lee Hoi Chun, a famous Cantonese stage and screen star, brought tiny Bruce onto a shooting set one day, and the next, a new star was born. In 1947, Kid Chung was produced, one of the very first films starring Bruce Lee, or as he was known then, the Little Dragon. The real Bruce Lee packed his bags and with $100 in his pocket, booked passage on a cheap freighter and departed for San Francisco. 6 years later, in Seattle, Washington, shortly after his marriage, Bruce Lee opened his first Kung Fu school, a modest operation conducted in a basement. His fee for a month's instruction was $15. He called it Bruce Lee's Kung Fu Institute.
After a short stay in San Francisco, he left to study philosophy at the university in Seattle. Before graduation, he moved to Los Angeles, where he got his first acting job as Kato in the TV series The Green Hornet. Discouraged with his small film roles, he returned to Hong Kong, where he starred in his first kung fu picture, Fist of Fury. When the film hit the movie screen, he became an overnight sensation. Bruce Lee electrified audiences around the world like no other did before. The Chinese Connection, his second film, confirmed his starhood status convincingly. Bruce Lee wrote and directed his third film, Return of the Dragon. Intended for the Chinese market, surprisingly, it thrilled people everywhere. His incredible success shocked Hollywood, causing Warner Brothers to produce Enter the Dragon. Each of his films was more successful than the previous, and his latest was the biggest of all. Now established as one of the top box office attractions in the world, he returned to Hong Kong to star in a film he wrote called The Game of Death. Bruce Lee never completed the film. He died during filming at the young age of 32.
Bruce Lee died July 20th, 1973, in Hong Kong's Queen Elizabeth Hospital. Bruce Lee, a legend in his own time. His passing was felt by countless people the world over. Never before in history had so many friends and fans alike paid tribute to one man. by the deceased's wife. The coffin containing the body of Bruce Lee was flown from China to Seattle, where he had so many friends, and where he now lies at rest. May he rest in peace.
After his death, the world mourned the loss of their most popular hero. Moviegoers missed their beloved idol, and since no one could replace him, many rushed to imitate him. As we all know, an impossible task to accomplish because there is only one Bruce Lee.
This quasi-documentary is accurate for the most part, but it gives you a look at the impact Bruce Lee has made as a film star and a martial artist. Next up, Bruce Lee, Kung Fu, Art and Life, in one of the most outstanding exhibits dedicated to the life of Bruce Lee. I'm at the Hong Kong Heritage Museum where there is a Bruce Lee exhibit. The Hong Kong Heritage Museum is located in Sha Tin, Hong Kong, and houses the exhibit Bruce Lee, Kung Fu, Art and Life. When you first enter the museum, you're greeted by a giant bronze statue of Bruce Lee. As you climb up 3 flights of floors, you're greeted by a beautiful museum. Also, you can watch a 75-minute film on the legend of Bruce Lee. When he was 18, he returned to the US to pursue his studies, a journey that broadened the horizons of both his mind and his life. You see many of its notes and artifacts from his various films, a collection of movie cards, posters, memorabilia, even recreations of his sets that he appeared in many of his movies. Returning to Hong Kong in the early 1970s, he starred in a number of Kung Fu classic movies, including The Big Boss, Fist of Fury, The Way of the Dragon, and Enter the Dragon. A lot of his original training aid and training equipment is featured at the museum, many which he made by himself. With a passion to delve deep into the world of martial arts, this young man established his own Kung Fu training institutes in the US. Merging philosophy and martial arts, he founded his own system, Jeet Kune Do, and became the preeminent Kung Fu grandmaster of his time. And then there's the fan portion of this exhibit, where fans put out their best collections. His dynamism as a film star and his achievements in the field of martial arts took the world by storm and made him an international icon. You see lobby cards and posters from many different languages, as Bruce Lee was a cultural icon around the world. His first film, The Big Boss, was released in the United States as The Fist of Fury. Shot in Bangkok, it was originally supposed to star James Tien, but later recasted as Bruce Lee as the lead in mid-production. A charismatic actor, he also found fame in both the show business and martial arts communities through his role as Kato in the US TV series The Green Hornet. Bruce Lee passed away in 1973, but his spirit lives on. In collaboration with the Bruce Lee Foundation of the US, the Hong Kong Heritage Museum has gathered together more than 600 invaluable items of Bruce Lee memorabilia from local and overseas collectors for an exhibit that looks at Bruce Lee not only as a film star and martial artist, but also as a cultural phenomenon from a more comprehensive, in-depth, independent perspective. Visitors will be able to gain greater insight into his achievements and contributions, as well as significance in popular culture, as the exhibit takes a new angle in presenting the legend of Bruce Lee. We want to thank the director of the Hong Kong Heritage Museum for allowing us a rare look at behind the scenes of the Bruce Lee exhibit. Bruce Lee has left us for nearly 50 years, but his legacy lives on in films and writings and exhibits like this. My name is Coach D, and these are from my personal archives on The Real Fight Club.